Alrighty, let's go to the logistics. That was just a good feel video on some great strides. So what we have here is you got your static making, electron making rubber band. So your electrons are coming up, they're going and filling the inside of this capacitor. We're coming off the outside of that capacitor, and then we're feeding the left side of the spark gap. We're coming out of the right side of the spark gap, and we're feeding the front side of this capacitor. It's oil can capacitor. It's 1600 volt, 4.7, 4700 microfarads. Come out of the other side of the spark gap, you got earth ground as the other potential. It goes to the front side of this capacitor, same size capacitor. Now the back side of each one of these capacitors are connected. So we're creating a difference in potential, and what we're doing here is there's a high potential that's here right now, okay? A high potential. Up in the air, no ground plane attached to it, and it's a high potential. It's coming down and going right into the front side of this capacitor. Now, the front side of this capacitor and the front side of this capacitor are their own individual, say, almost like a voltage doubler. So if you take the volts off of this and this, it'll be double what the whole system has. So basically, if you take the voltage off of this and here, you'll have a set voltage. You take the voltage off the front of here and go to this back corner, because it's attached there, it'll have the same voltage. You go from the front of this one and connect across here, you'll have double the voltage that you had from here to here. Alrighty, so what we're doing is we're making super high potential there, and we're bringing that down, and we're shifting, and we're concentrating electrons in different corridors here to where this potential and this potential are equal based on the separation of their back feeders of their inline, but it's being fed. So the electrons are running through the circuit, running down, running through here, through the circuit, and down the ground. As vice versa, ground's coming up and feeding the back side. Well, ground on this side here is feeding the front side. So this ground is providing the potential, the same potential this side as this side, which is being fed by the high potential up there. So I just wanted you guys to see that. It's going to be a little hard for me with one hand. I guess what we'll do is we'll start off by seeing the potential across these two. Alright, and I'll go ahead and just go right to the voltmeter. Alright, so the potential there is going to be 5 volts, okay, so that's 5 volts. So now the potential between these two, I can't really spread my fingers, so we'll do the potential between the both sides of the spark gap, which literally is the potential difference. Well, it's doubling the voltage. So we'll go across here, okay, and we're going to have only said 4 volts. Go over here and see how much we have built up over here. Got some good charge. We'll let that build up. Sometimes it needs to be released. So I still want to add a interrupter, and I guess I'll add the interrupter in between right here in this circuit. We do have an inductor I added, which I just went and touched it, and it literally, I'm standing on a rubber mat, and I don't know if I'd be dead right now if I was on the ground, but I felt the energy from the bottom of my feet, the distance to the ground. So it's got me thinking that I want to put a plate real low to the ground, like within like this close to the ground, and have that to be my grounding. Not a grounding to ground, but a grounding right just above the ground. There'd be an inductive force that comes through that. I know that just from what I dealt with by touching that inductor. So by adding the inductor, I now have a good inductance in the circuitry here, and that's a small one too. So don't get me wrong. We can, especially with the amount of voltage I got up there, is a high potential. I can go really bigger with an inductor and step this up. But yeah. Um, let's see what we have here now. It's only showing four. I can't separate. I guess I'd have to touch across here. And I can't do that. But this is the system right now. So I'll leave that running. It's charging my capacitors there. I want to add an interrupter because I believe that that's going to take that energy that's built up there. I want that charge. See, what's happened is it's so built up there that it's forcing it in through the line. So now I have to start getting a little more creative and adding my diodes and rectifying this. And there's a lot more to this. But as I go through the process and show you guys that anybody at home could start collecting air, electric in simple means and multiplying it, dividing it, segregating it, and then using it for workable power. All right, peace out, brothers.